Hello. I decided to make a creepypasta of the YouTuber known as Fleshwad. Check her out. She's done other videos about creepypastas and is a creepypasta reader. She's awesome at her work and you should definitely subscribe to her. If you try to click a link in the description, there will be none because I don't know how to put links. But here we go. This is a fan-made creepypasta by me. Fleshwad, as she was known, was a girl in a demon-like school. Everybody called her my Fleshwad, not her real name. Therefore, her real name was not even known by the school. She owned art books full of writings and creepypastas. Kids would steal the books for her awesome art, but also to burn them. One day, a kid decided to be rude and lit the book on fire in her hands. She dropped the book and ran. Something happened to her legs as they became mist, but you could still see the separation, and it looked weird to the other kids. She then scared them away and told them, "If you make me mad, this will happen again, and it will be way worse." And the other kids believed her, because they have never seen that happen to a student in their school before. Except for the one kid that lit the book on fire. He rumored that she used special effects in real life, even though that could not happen with the laws of physics. Then she started to get bullied. One kid painted her red in her sleep. First, he stripped her down to nothing and painted her a very light shade of red, and wrote demon on her face and near her eye, even though it was not present in Fleshwad's character. He wrote it right under her eye. She soon washed it off, but for the sake of this drawing, I'll keep it in. Everybody was still scared of her, but the kid never stopped. He would antagonize her over and over and over again. One day, she yelled, "Stop!" The teachers heard and immediately called Fleshwad's mother, and she had never seen her mother so mad, to say the least. Fleshwad was then quiet for the rest of the year. She would take the longer ways to every place she went that was somewhat popular with the kids at school, just to make sure that she didn't run into them. She still wore a smile on her face, because she knew if a kid did see her with a smile on her face, they would know to stay out of her way and not make her mad, If she ever wore a frown, they would automatically know she was mad, so they could do whatever they wanted. Even though her legs never became into mist for the rest of that school year. In the summer of that year, a kid came over to her house saying that her parents signed up for a program that made a kid from out of the country live in their house for a couple months. And then Fleshwad kept the person in the living room and ran up to her bathroom and took a shower, trying to wash off the paint. The paint did not come off. She then went to her mama's room and asked why the paint wouldn't come off. And she said, "It must be the permanent paint that I bought. It was going to be the paint to your room with." Because it was that exact color. Fleshwad was so angry, but she tried to keep it into herself because of the guest just downstairs. And then, when she went downstairs, the kid was gone. No one knows why, but Fleshwad screamed. I don't even think she knows herself, because it was very unlikely of her to be scared. She was the one to make scary things. Her mom came rushing down, and her mom asked why she screamed. Fleshwad said that there was a man in the house, and she didn't know where he was. A man that said that you let him in, or not let him in, or made a program with the family. Her mother then denied the fact, saying she would never let a random man into the house. But then she said, "You join a program, not let him in the house." And her mom still denied the fact. Then she went upstairs and continued to try to wash off the paint. In case it was her dad who joined the program, she still wanted to look good for the guest. It partially came off, but it left these weird marks of red that makes skin was peeled off of her, that her skin was peeled off. So kids then just used the nickname. They made it into an insult. They called her Fleshwad because of the patches, and not of any other reason now. Her skin was naturally a pinkish color, but the paint with the pinkish color made it look very ripped and bruised. She then looked at the corridor for the new student, the one that had been in her house, and he wasn't there. Then she became angry. The kid that had been in her house for months eating free food and getting free dinners from the best cook in the world, her mom, was not showing up to school. All the kids laughed at her. There's one video about the boy that only she knew, and now everybody watching this video knows, is that he looked like her too, with the red splashes of paint. She yelled at the kids saying that he was there, he was real. No one believed her. You need the evidence, everybody said. She wished that she had taken a picture of the boy while he was living at their house. Then she would have the evidence. Then she wouldn't have to worry about the kids still making fun of her. But sadly, it never changed because he never showed up to school. Kids started to make fun of her more, laughing because of the boy. One day, her legs became color again and everybody ran. But not the kid that she hated the most. He stood there and got out a bag of chips and started laughing and pointing, saying that she wasn't going to do anything. Exactly what he did wrong that day. Fleshwad glided or walked or whatever she did at that point with her legs, went over and picked him up by the collar of his shirt. Kids screaming for teachers. Teachers calling her the principal, and the principal calling her mother, and etc., etc. She finally dropped the kid and screamed, "Now leave me alone, you freak, or you'll end up like me." Then she made a video, and her voice was very monotone. Made a YouTube video, and now that's what she does. She makes YouTube videos, but that kid still haunts her nightmares to this day. So off camera, I just quickly colored everything and blurred the splotches in her skin. That's not the scariest creepypasta on the market, but I don't know. It just, her voice in her videos, not trying to be mean or anything, but is a little bit more monotone than other creepypasta readers, and I kind of thought I got the vibe that she was bullied in school, or at least had a bully sometime in her life. So I based it upon what I felt from watching her videos. And if you haven't been bullied, I'm sorry for assuming. But for the sake of this, because I don't really like to use blacks in my colors, I gave her dark red hair.